Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Anime Squad podcast. I'm your host for today, Omar, and I'm my co-host,
David.
And for today, we're going to be talking about the anime spring season of 2020. And unfortunately, today we don't have our host Robbie with us today. He couldn't make it for today, but he'll be here for the next one. So, this spring anime was very highly anticipated for us compared to what winter had to offer, I like to say. What do you think, David?
I think so. It's changed. Mostly, for me, the big thing was Love is War.
Oh, yes. We're going to talk about that right away. Love is War second season started this spring, and I had no doubts about it. We watched it, and it was amazing. It was a more Love is War, and very funny.
And then most of the other animes were different, you know. They were brand new in general that we watched.
Yeah. So, but yeah, back to Love is War. I loved every minute of it. I love, just more Chica all the way, And yeah, and I think, just watching the first episode, I have no doubt about it that it's gonna be great. So, if I had to give my first impressions, I'd give it like 9 out of 10. What'd you do?
For me, it was the same energy, same thing, and it was entertaining. Of course, the funny moments are the best parts on that show, especially covering from like episode 1. I think episode 1, season 1. It just kept going up and up on comedy in general, and waiting for more, I guess. Opening is not as big as I thought of the first season, but
it's kind of like,
it's good enough. I like it. I enjoyed it.
It's kind of like that curse when you're like, when you have the first season of the opening, it's amazing. And people all love to compare it to the second one. It never leaves up to it, or there's that rare occasion where it goes, hell yeah, the second one was way better.
Yeah, so for me, as Omar said, I also gave it a 9 out of 10.
Nice. All right. Well, the second anime we saw was Tower of God, and this one's Crunchyroll's like biggest baby right here, webtoon from Korea. And when I saw it, it was very interesting. I like the art style, and there was a comment that was like, art style was kind of jagged, and I was like, I don't think so. It looked pretty good. It looked pretty good for myself. Introduced the characters, this whole tower system, how it works. Each level is different. The first level was this giant eel, and then the second level was like battle royale. So I think the first episode was pretty good, and I like the characters, the character designs on them. There's this girl, this princess. She looked pretty cool. And then the MC, it looks MCable. And then they do flash appearances from other side characters. Well, I can't wait to see the next episode. So Tower God, pretty good start. I liked it. From first impressions, I had to give it like an 8 out of 10. Very good. And from Crunchyroll as well. So what about you, David?
For me, the style for a webtoon, I guess it's different. It's not your normal anime-ish color style, color palettes and stuff. So it was different. And main character was okay. He was just a plain dude to me. What else? I think I didn't have much to say about this show other than the concept of the story is just, try to get to the top of the tower,
So far.
So we'll see what happens to the protagonist in general. And I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, so, we're both looking forward to Tower God, see where that turns out. First episode left off cliffhanger, so we'll see. And third anime we saw, B&A. Trigger anime.
Yep.
We all love Trigger in this studio. So watching B&A was a relief compared to last season. So watching B&A and then coming from Beastars to now this this humanoid animals. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like the colors. The colors really stand out on this one a lot. A lot of reds, blues. The animals are cool, and then there's an awesome fight scene like in the later half of the episode. Y'all should really check it out. And great first episode. It introduces the world. How animals and humans are together and how they coexist. And I think very good episode for Trigger again. What about you, man?
Yeah, for me, I think, of course, the Trigger is always good with animation, and their CGI too. So this show just build up more when it comes to their animation and the story too. We're getting to know the characters in general, and I guess my favorite scene was the fighting part in general from the wolf dude.
The wolf Batman?
The wolf Batman, yeah. That's what we call them, the wolf Batman. And
very cool.
The backgrounds, the colors of the whole scenes, it was just amazing. And usually I'm against these humanoid I guess animal / human thing. I'm not into that as much. But this one, I gave it a shot, and I enjoyed it for the first episode.
Yeah, man, it's cool. You gotta try new things, man.
Hey, Trigger managed just to change a little bit, for me at least a bit.
Oh, so what you think? What was your rating?
Oh, my rating in general, it was at 7/10.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 7/10.
Oh, okay, pretty average. I didn't give my rating, but if I had a rated first impressions, I gave it a 9. It was solid first episode, in my opinion. All right, so the fourth anime we saw together, we saw Appear Ranman, which we were looking forward to it. We saw a trailer to it last year, and from our friend Robbie, he basically called it JoJo Part 7 Steelboat Run, and it pretty much is. And so, this one, very cool first episode. Introduces the characters, the cast we're going to be on this rat race with, and we get to see up here. I think that's how you say his name, the guy with the red hair, and his companion, how they reach to Los Angeles and stuff. And animation is cool. Animation is great, and when literally the first 10 minutes of the anime, you get to see their vehicles and each character, the personality put into them, and I can't wait for this season of the show. So hopefully it turns out good, and from first impression, it was pretty good. They didn't blow me out of the water, not all of it, but characters I liked, and so I had to give it an 8 out of 10 first impressions. What about you, David?
Yeah, it started off pretty cool in the beginning. You got to see the different characters. Other than so far in the beginning, they didn't show the main character in general.
Oh.
But they showed it on, of course, the cover art of the anime. But when you saw it on the anime itself, the first episode, of course, you basically didn't know who was the main character until they showed us the backstory of his. Not his backstory, but they went back after that. They went to Japan. To the beginning where it all started, and then they went to America after that.
Yeah.
So that's what I guess is just a starting point. We'll see how it goes. I enjoyed so far. Main character, he's cool. I think he's really different.
Oh yeah,
I
forgot to mention that.
yeah, like like in the at least the first beginning, I'm like, oh look, he fits well in America. But when he's in Japan, he's the odd one out, and his family is like pure Japanese. Like, look, you know,
Yeah, very traditional.
Traditional.
Fit to society, and he does not fit to society at all.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm amazed that his family, that you get to see family. You usually never see, like, you know, mom, dad, sister, brother. Like, you see sister and brother, but you never see mom and dad. So that's why I was surprised.
All alive.
Yeah, all alive. That or moved away, or, you know, something like that. But yeah, in general, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, cool. The next anime we saw Gleipnir. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Well, it's called Gleipnir, and it's about a boy who has the power to turn into a dog mascot. It's very interesting, very different in my opinion, and he doesn't know how he got this power and stuff, and and he's just trying to find a way how to deal with this, and I guess people are trying to look after him. And that was basically it in the first episode. It was very unique in this concept of Gleipnir. You know, did you see people turn into wolves, vampires, cars? But this one, he's a full mascot-looking dog, and looks very cool. And animation was pretty good too. Yeah. And from first impressions of this one, it was pretty good, and I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. What'd you do?
To me, the show was pretty mysterious in general, because I was confused a couple of times, as in, like, what were the coins for, and why did she suicide, or I went off topic, but in general, it started off with one of the characters in general that are part of the show. He shows up, and then out of nowhere, you know, he comes. I don't know. I was surprised. I don't know. I was just confused in general. But yeah, I think later on they'll show more and more about it. I was just confused a bit.
I think they'll, like, later on in the show they'll explain, like,
the other characters in general.
What the other character moves was, and what the coins do and stuff like that.
And then why she tried to suicide, and
yeah, because it was just basically, you know, where he's at, the MC, his story and how he got there and stuff.
Claire was the girl, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the other character was Claire, and she was the one that was trying to kill herself, but ended up failing because the MC rescues him and stuff. But what do you give a rating on that one?
That one, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, a lot of 7s from you, man.
Yo.
Man. All right. Well, I want to see if this one you got to 7 out of 10. Next one we saw was Listeners, and from first episode, this is not what I expected from the trailer I saw, and it's not bad. You know, what I expected. I thought, you know, if watching Listeners, the trailer, it was gonna be like Carol and Tuesday with the power of music. It was gonna save the world, but from this first episode, what it seemed like, you know, it was more like with power of sound, we could overcome these non-listener aliens, and we could fight them with our sound mechs. And I don't know, I was getting Lucio vibes. I'm feeling the beat. And the characters are alright. I didn't grow attached to any of them, but we'll see from further on this show. So for Listeners, for me, first impressions, I'll give this one a 6 out of 10. What about you, man?
For Listeners, the show is just okay. I really didn't like the main character in general. Most of his whole stitch was like, oh, I need to pick up no, I like junk. I like picking up junk because they live in a post-apocalypse world, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. He loved, you know, looking for specific trash. I called him the trash man. I was like, damn, that's all he does. And I was confused in certain parts where I guess he connected the amplifier with the girl itself, because she's a player, and I guess players in general get that ability where if they connect both at the same time, they become they ride a mech, or a mech appears. I don't know what to say about that. I was so confused about that.
Yeah, like, so in the first episode they introduced the concept of players and equipments and how they're very important in this world in the anime. And there was a scene where, like, a kid, he's carrying an amplifier and he explains that it's an equipment, but when they show equipments early on that they're giant mechs, and he brings a basic amplifier up to this fight. And what I think David's trying to say is, like, I don't know where the next scene is just a random mech, and you're like, what? Right?
Yeah. So I ended up just giving it a 5 out of 10.
Damn.
Yeah.
Would you say this is only a 3-episode anime for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. So stay tuned if you want to hear what goes on from listeners here.
Yo.
And all right, the next anime we saw was Sakura Wars, an old Sega game that I know a little bit about, based off Project Exxon, those characters in there. But this is a whole different cast of Sakura Wars, where these girls are fighting demons, and they're then cool ass mechs, and they tear shit up, and they also actresses in the stage that they're in, and also their home base. It was alright. I really didn't think of much of this. It's pretty, like, generic, like mech anime kind of stuff. Mechs are very cool, and, like, when they do their crazy action scenes, I was enjoying it. But during the first half and, like, midway, I was not very into it. So this one for me is like a 3-episode type of rule for me for Sakura Wars. We'll see where it goes from there. So for me, I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10. First impression. What you mean?
For me, it was like the like the other one. It's an okay too. It's really it didn't spark anything brand new, or, you know, it didn't give me the wow factor. And in general, the only thing that was cool is the mechs itself. You know, I'm not a mech guy, but, you know, when they appeared, they look pretty cool. The girls were, they were good. They were fun in the beginning too of the story, their little fight sequence and stuff. But other than that, the episode just dragged on, and we didn't get much story. The pacing was pretty, like, slow in general, and then when it picked up, it just skipped over like specific things, or like in theater they would do a specific what do you call it, the play, or singing in general, and then it would just cut off, and then after that we would go to like idol singing or group singing in general, and then it cut off there. So after that I was like, damn, they're just moseying down on everything. And I'm like, what more, man? We'll see. Like my host said, 3 episodes as well. The 3 episodes rule. Yeah. And I give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay. Hey, I give a bad rating for that one.
Yeah.
The next one that we saw was my co-host's favorite, and he told me to give it a chance, and I was like, hell no. But I gave it a chance, and to my surprise, this anime caught me off guard, and I was laughing my way through this one. It's Princess Connect Redive, and a side games app, and it was very entertaining. I was not gonna lie, I was laughing with the MC getting dragged along by wolves, and the princesses. Well, the girls, they were trying to do everyday tasks and they were messing up everywhere. It was not what I expected. I thought it was gonna be very serious isekai kind of tropes, but it ended up being really funny, and I couldn't stop laughing about it. So I'm very impressed by first impression with this first episode, and so I give it. I don't know if my co-host would be surprised. I give it an 8 out of 10 with this one. What about you, man?
Yeah, my expectations were low because not low, they were medium. Because I always thought app games usually don't get good adaptations on anime in general. But that's where I wanted to put it for now. Because I played the app game itself, and the thing is that we don't have a global one. We have a Japanese. Well, I have the Japanese one, and I didn't know the story at all. And so finally, they managed to get the anime adaptation of the app game, and I enjoyed I enjoyed it all, man. I enjoyed it completely. The references, the music too. From the game itself, to the points where they lost, it would say loss from the actual game, and then win in the actual game too. The enemies appeared too, and they were not what I expected when watching this show. They actually they got me laughing so much. The protagonist, of course, he's I guess he lost his memory in general, of course. That's what I thought at first when I was playing the app game, but in general, like he's the mute character. He's supposed to be the us, but he has the story behind him. So we'll see what happens when it continues on his journey. So he finally remembers who he was at the end of the episode.
Yeah, when we were first watching it together, we were like, man, is he like Link? Is he like a silent character? And like, is he not? Because he wasn't speaking in the beginning. Then later on, he remembers certain events that was like, oh yeah, I know this, I know that. But the girls, they teach him like certain things like money, important, food, you need it, stuff like that. Oh, but what was your first impression of it?
Well, the other things that I didn't expect was the animation. I never thought it was gonna be like good, but this one was really good animation for what it was. But like on the app game itself, there's cutscenes, but I never expected to have like good budget of cutscenes as well. And in general, my first impressions, I give it an 8.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna go high because it's the app game I play, but that's my expectation for now. Who knows if later on I just or it could just drop.
Yeah, that's the beauty of these first impressions. It can be high, low, but we gotta see the whole way through. And last one on my list that caught me off real off. I mean, the trailer was very interesting, so I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. It's Seeing Yesterday for me. It's like an anime towards like more mature like audience, not like high school, like 17, 18. It's more like mid-20s, early 30s. But yeah, Seeing Yesterday for me, I was enjoying the heck out of this anime. I was like, oh my god, I could relate to this so badly. Like, this guy who just finished college, and he's like, oh, my life's not together and stuff like that. But he's still trying to live his life, trying to live through the hardships of reality and stuff. And he meets these two girls, one that won't stop annoying him, and the other one his childhood, or no, college friend that comes back into town, and they reconnect, and we get to know more about these characters, and I just slice of life, the slice of anime, I could relate to it a lot with it, and it's something you have to watch. I love this first episode, to be honest with you. So for my first impression rating, it'll probably be a 9 out of 10. What about you, Dave?
The show in general, it's the story relates to more older audience in general, and I really like the characters themselves too. There's no hate for any character in this anime. You're trying to root for one, and then you're trying to root for the other. Since it's the first episode, I wish I had more to know. Because there's some things that they won't say until, of course, later on. But how usually stories are, take their time. And I in general, I enjoyed it throughout the whole episode. Just constantly got my attention, and in general, I'll give it a 8 out of 10.
Nice.
That's where I put it.
I couldn't when I was watching, I was like, I kind of wanted more. If it was on Netflix, I would have binged this whole thing. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's all the animes that I have in my list. Do you want to throw anything in there, David?
Yeah, we gave other ones shot. We gave Art. What else? Tomoyomi. I don't know if I said it right or not. Shadowverse and Minayo Kuketeru, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm butchering it. But yeah, we gave those a shot because this season we started off with 16 anime, I think, if I'm correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, we had a long list for this one.
14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 animes. And we had to cut some off because, we didn't cut them off in the sense we didn't like them, or it didn't fit our taste, or we just didn't connect to that show as much.
Yeah, I mean, for me, with I'll say specifically Shadowverse, the game it's not based on the game from the story of it, but when I was watching it, it was alright, but it's more like younger audiences, and they're trying to target the kids, so it wasn't for me. And me playing that game, it was kind of cool seeing the basic cards that were in there, like soldier, like the fairies being used in each class to represent. But I think if I were to watch it all the way through, I don't think so. It's like this new age of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's past that already at this point. But what was the other one? Art. I like the art. It's just for that one. Art. That one you have to be into art, how canvases are made, and how these artists get their ideas and stuff, and that one's like a very niche audience. So I think it didn't target us, impactfully from the trailer we saw. But that one, those are two. I'm like, I don't see myself watching it all the way through. Like I'll probably watch it a bit, but I'm not going out my way to watch it like Love is War or freaking Sing Yesterday for me. My opinion.
Yeah, so for me, I guess in the top 3 would be Love is War, Yesterday, and Princess Connect. Those are the ones I'm looking forward. And the rest are, hopefully they change and give me hope that they end up being my Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray collection. Well, Love is War is already gonna be my Blu-ray collection once the season comes out. So, so if I had to put a top 3, it would be Love is War, Obviously yesterday as well, and I think it's either a tie for me for B&A and a Peer Round Man. I really dig those two animes we saw from the first episode. But I think that's pretty much it for this episode of the podcast. And for that, I like to let you guys go. And this was Omar, your host, and
David, your co-host.
And we hope to talk to you guys next time, next episode. Bye, guys.
Later.